Hello, hello, my friend. How are you doing today? This is Lee Yingkim from Edinburgh, Texas. Happy Friday. Everybody's celebrating right now. We have a nice parade in Edinburgh. There's a lot of people going to the parade and enjoying this night. And I hope you can enjoy it. And if you haven't seen it, you can see the video also of the parade. Okay, for this day, we're going to talk about word of courage and hope in the cash flow. Do you like cash flow? A lot of people they have heard about cash flow, but let me explain a little bit more about cash flow. Cash flow is something that we always want. We want a cash flow. Before I didn't know what a cash flow is. When I was studying, was well, uh, you didn't have to work, you didn't have to do anything. You just study, and the money was coming because parents was helping, brother was helping, family was helping. So wasn't too much about thinking about that one. Right now, let me tell you about uh, if you have a cash flow. A lot of people are getting the cash flow from working. If you work, you can get a income coming, right? That's called linear incomes, where you have to work for your money. You have to spend times, exchange time for a check, and that's called you have to work for the money. Meanwhile, if you don't work, the money stop, right? And that's something to worry about. That a lot of people worry. Why? Because they say, "What happened if I get fired? The boss doesn't like me, or I don't like the job, or something happens, and that's something is getting very stressful." But what about if you get a cash flow and you don't have to work? Isn't that amazing? Annabella, January, how are you doing? Good to see you again. And the cash flow is nice to learn about this one because the the truth would open your eyes. And something like this ones, I wanted to know before what was a cash flow. Cash flow is really better if you are getting it in a business where you don't have to put your time there while you're working for your money. That's is money coming if you work. If you don't work, there's no money coming. And a lot of people have to do it since they started to work until they retire, and they have to just be limited. Is something that a lot of people are suffering because they have to be limited in their income, and they don't have a cash flow because that is depending on their time of exchange for the money. And let me explain that to you. That's called linear incomes. If you want a real cash flow where you are getting money and you're not present, and that's the beauty of the system, and we have it in these times. Everybody can join, but you can develop that. That's a business. There's a business where, like for example, uh, the network marketing, you develop an asset. A lot of people are asset. You're consuming a product everybody's doing now, consuming, but they don't get anything. But if you join a team where you have three people consuming, and they paid you to be consuming, that's amazing. And everybody, if they know this uh, I would say miracle of systems, then people would join, but they don't know. That's why a lot of people are just skeptical. They don't know, and they don't teach that in school. Now, if you learn from these systems, you can get assets, and every asset it bring money. Doesn't take money from you from your pocket. It's bring money to your pockets, and that's something that is you can develop and you can grow faster. And a lot of people right now are happy because they have a job, but when they find out that the how you say the let me and how we say I escape the word came I forgot the word. Okay, but inflation. That the inflation. There you go. The inflations is always above us. When the inflation is above us, the income that we're getting is not enough. That's why keep us working. The inflations, the taxes, and that's why people say, "Hey, I thought I was going to get more in my check," and they tell them at the end, "Oh, Uncle Sam needs your check also." And that's why people are working and working and they don't find the ends. And that's why Friday people are happy. Why? Because they don't have to work. But what about Saturday and Sunday, 2 days that they don't have to work? The income is short, and they will say, "Oh, I wish I can work more." But remember, we need to rest, and the body need to rest, and that's why the salary is always limited because we cannot work more than we have to. Let me explain to you. Cindy Hernandez, welcome to the call. I'm glad you're here. And that's why a lot of people, even if they have a high incomes, they find out that the check is not enough. Why? Because the inflation is always high, the taxes is always high, and they are never satisfied. They always want more. The tax is always going up, and your income is always going down. And that $100 doesn't buy the big grocery like before. That's why you need an extra income. The two three incomes you can get better, and when you get it in your part time spend 2 3 hours developing your new business. The business is very easy, anybody can do it, and people that are doing it are very happy and they're enjoying the life because they have an extra cash flow. In the beginning, in the beginnings, the cash flow is small, always small. For example, you can get $25 a month. That's nothing but $25 that you didn't work for. And once you start to develop that, you can get even $100 a month, but you didn't have to work for that hundreds. $1,000 a month, but you didn't have to work for that. And that's the beauty of the cash flow. Meanwhile, if you're working for your money, you have to be there. You have to work, and you have to be out of your house, and your children have you have to send it to the how's the nursery. And when you have a cash flow, you can be with your children. That's the benefit. Let me explain a little bit about the benefit of the cash flow. You have more time for yourself. You stay more time at home with your family. If you have children, excellent. That's the beauty of this one, because you can go and take your children to to the school, spend time with your children at school, and be quality time. See, it's not just to send them to school and you are in at work. And now you can be working at home and spending time with your family. And that's the beauty of having a business that has a cash flow. That's why the truth will open your eyes. If this is good for you, uh, pass it to somebody else. Pass it so they can learn that if they have a cash flow, they can live better, they can have more time, less stress. That means less disease. You won't get sick as much as a person that are working in 8 hours a day and in a stressful day. Now in this traffic, amazing traffic, always everybody's driving crazy. If you don't have to be on the road, it's better, because it's very dangerous right now, and that's cause stress, and because you have to be working. Okay, I hope this can help you with this word of courage and hope that there is always a second opportunity. is the cash flow. If you have it, you can live much better. And of course, happy Friday.